Hi, this is Norman Kochnick here for Extra Time, reporting from Coogee Beach in Sydney, Australia. Reporting to you about a number of aspects of the Australian squad that has actually been selected for the ICC T20 World Cup in Dubai, or the UAE and Oman, starting in October. That actual squad includes a number of changes. In fact, obviously a number of the IPL players that were there that have been actually around the whole tournament previously with the IPL. They now rejoin the Australian squad. That is the likes of Warner, Smith, Stoinis, obviously they're there. Cummins is back as well. These players have all been brought back into the side, which is an advantage for Australia. They've kept Mitchell Marsh, but most importantly, there's some interesting selections around young Western Australian wicketkeeper batter Josh Inglis, who's been promoted above the likes of Alex Carey and Josh Philippe, who were a part of the squad that actually went to both Bangladesh and West Indies. Now, in terms of his position in the side, he will be there as a reserve wicketkeeper for Matthew Wade, but he probably will force his way into the squad well and truly, as he's also earmarked to play Test cricket for Australia. George Bailey, the chair of selectors, has actually made that comment very clear that he's been on the radar for some time. So he's an interesting selection. The other is Nathan Ellis, the young fast bowler who took a hat-trick recently in Bangladesh, is seen as a future star and will also be a part of that squad. With some of the reserve players, which are interesting enough, been included, like Daniel Christian, Daniel Sams. They've both been included, Nathan Ellis, as in that reserve listing. They're also there as a part of the squad, the greater squad. There's also a lot of conjecture around the coach, Justin Langer. Now, Justin Langer, of course, has his tenure until the middle of next year, that is 2022. And there was a lot of conjecture as to whether he should or should not be the coach of Australia. There's dissension in the ranks. They believe him to be a very upset and very angry coach, and has not been exactly well liked. Tim Payne came out in support from some time ago, but in particular, the CEO, Nick Hockley, has come out and actually supported him and said that he will be at the helm as coach of Australia until middle of next year, 2022. But of course, that doesn't take away from the fact that there were certain very unusual announcements that happened throughout the year, with the likes of Steve Smith actually saying that he's pledging to be the next captain, talking publicly after an interview with Ben Horn here in Australia. But ironically, only a matter of days later, Justin Langer said didn't know anything about it. Tim Payne's the coach, the captain, and that's it. So there is a dissension in the ranks you'd have to see between Steve Smith and even the likes of Dave Warner with Justin Langer, and that appears those cracks certainly have surfaced on a number of occasions after a quite honest and transparent review that they had recently with Justin Langer, which exposed a lot of concerns about his coaching style, and is not as being as well liked as others. So that has been put to rest for the moment, but Andrew McDonald's is still there. Andrew McDonald certainly is someone who's been considered. Even the likes of Jason Gillespie certainly has been considered as well for that coaching role, and I think you'll see some development over time. But at this stage, Tim Payne is the captain, Justin Langer is the coach. The squad has been announced. A number of IPL players to return. Nathan Ellis, who was in the squad as a reserve, has actually now been earmarked to play the IPL as well. There's several clubs, several IPL teams that are actually after him, and one has apparently been announced as the team, but we're not aware of that team just yet. But that's an announcement to come very shortly. So that's another development to the whole process. Of course, that's being played in Dubai as well, which then is followed by the World Cup itself, between both the number of the nations in the ICC that are part of that. Some still have to qualify, and it'll be interesting to see that development as well. But that qualification process is coming on leading up to the first match. So this is Norman Kochnick again for Extra Time here in Coogee, Sydney, Australia, with an update as to the Australian makeup of their selection and squad.